The Son of Man hath power on the earth to forgive sins. Anybody in here been forgiven? I say unto thee, arise and take up thy bed and go thy way into the house. And immediately, somebody say immediately, he arose, took up his bed and went forth before them all, insomuch that they were all amazed and glorified God, saying, we never saw it on this fashion. I want you to go and pay close attention, if you would, to a particular verse. Verse 4. And when they could not come nigh to him for the press, they uncovered the roof where he was. And when they had broken it up, I want to talk to you from this thought that simply says, tear the roof off.
All right.
You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Talk to you from this. Tear the roof off. As a sub-thought, I would like you to entertain these words: revamping relationships. Revamping relationships. I want you to see first that in life you can be in a place and a stage in your life that systems that you put in place were helpful at one point. But at a later point in your life, those same systems become detrimental because you allow people to do for you what you should now be able to do for your. Oh, somebody gonna help me already. So in our text, we're dealing with Jesus, and Jesus has come down to Capernaum. Now, I want to deal with several relationships. The first relationship I want to deal with is Jesus's relationship with Capernaum. His relationship with Capernaum. This was the place where Jesus set up his headquarters. This was the place where he works from. This is the place where he does awesome things over and over again, because Capernaum is the place where Jesus moved to after he left Bethlehem. And in this particular city, he did mighty works over and over again, and they allowed him to do it, and he became their spiritual head, and he had invested so much, but seen so little. There is nothing worse than investing a whole lot and seeing so little. He has come as the spiritual head and the spiritual leader and performed miracles there, and miracle after miracle, but they were so pious and they were so religious and so caught up in themselves that they could not receive what he had. Sometimes religious people are the most dangerous people and the most difficult people to lead, because they had so much criteria for him to stand up to before they would receive what he had to say. They loved the principles more than they loved the prince. And Jesus had to struggle with all of their religious ideologies, because Jesus was radical. Jesus was out of the box. Jesus was the Messiah, and they couldn't come to grips with the idea because he wasn't the Messiah that they were looking for. They tried him and they ended up rejecting him because he wasn't what they were looking for. So I want to move from Jesus' relationship with Capernaum to the individual in Capernaum who was paralytic. When the Bible says to us that he was sick and he was a paralytic man, I want you to hear that, but I want you to put on your thinking cap for a minute. And I want you to think a little bit deeper, because your body may not be moving right now, but that does not mean that you're paralytic.
All right.